Hello, this is DJS, coach of the Tentacruel Pirates, and welcome to week 6 of PAC YouTube season 3. So, currently we are standing at 4-1, and I think we just need another win from the rest of our games to get a playoff spot. So I tried to build a different type of team this week just to experiment some stuff. So this week we are facing against Goldoa Dragon and his New York Emporians. So he has a lot of mons. He actually has drafted all 11 mons. So that does mean we have to pray for more mons. But on the other hand, that also means that he does not have a lot of high point mons. So it's on both ways. So his team has the Dragapult, the Quaquava, the Riva Vroom, the Rotom Heat, Donphan, Dreadnought, Arboriva, Honchcrow, Frostmoth, Hypno, and Carkol. And his Terra captains are the Riva Vroom, Dreadnought, and the Frostmoth. So you can see a pattern on his Terra mons that all three of his Terra mons are setup sweepers. So we have to be wary of that. Besides that, he also has the Dragapult, which is always a hard time to prep against. Yeah, so first on our team is gonna be the Gengar. So Gengar's dual stab is actually unresisted against his team, and I can also just run Modest and outspeed like everything else except for Put, which we're not gonna outspeed anyway. So we got a Scarf to outspeed Put. And for moves we have our double step, Shadow Ball, Surge Bomb, and we got Energy Fall just for the Dreadnought because we one shot the Dreadnought, and we got Destiny Bond just to pick up a KO if we can, being faster. So next up we have a Great Tusk. So we are running a Photosynthesis Booster Energy Great Tusk this week, and this one is a speed boosting Great Tusk. So with no attack investment and max speed investment, Jolly Nature, we actually get a speed boost, and the moves are running are like Bulk Up to boost our attack, and then Tower, Dual Stab, and Stone Age. These three moves pretty much hit his whole team, and after like a Bulk Up we should be in a good spot to do some good damage against his team. So since we can't run any attack investment or defense investment, so I put the rest on speed F and HP, so we can take like a Modest Specs Dracometeor from Put. Next up we have Ochien. So Ochien actually was like a huge portion of his team, especially with Terra Poison, since his two mons that is good against Terra Poison are the Donphan and the Hypno, which both doesn't want to come against us. So we got a good mix of defense and speed F to just take hits from stuff, and our moves are taunt to stop some of the setups that he has, and then we have Ruination for some consistent damage, Reach Seed for recovery, and Giga Drain just for other damage. Next we have the Screamtail. So this Screamtail is a very defensive Screamtail, so this mostly because for the Quaquava and some of our other offensive mons like the Dreadnought. So we got our Wish Protect as standard, and we got Thunder Wave just to slow down Put. So it was like sometimes people do run like Scarf Put, so if it's Scarf we can just slow it down, and I've just Dazzling Gleam as our damaging move. Then we have the Dondozo. So this Dondozo is a mixed defensive Dondozo, since as I say, like his team has like both physical and special sweepers and a lot of setup sweepers. So we are running Anwar Rocky Helmet Dondozo just to try to take hits from both ends. We have Reciproc for sustenance, and then we have liquidation as a stab and Zen headbutt for the coverage. And the last one we have is the Charizard. This week we are bringing it with dual stab, fire burst, hurricane, and a focus burst. With these three moves, it pretty much hits most of his team pretty hard, and we have got substitutes, so we don't have to like predict what he might switch in. We can just fire up moves if we can get a sub in something in front of like the Arboliva or the Revavroom, something like that. I really wanted to run a Mirror Herb on this Charizard because he like a Quiver Dance or like a Sail Smash from Dreadnought will make this thing like pretty unstoppable. However, I do not have removal this week, and Donphan is a pretty good rock setter, so I am forced to run Boots. So that's gonna be the team for this week. Now let's head on to the battle. So we are in the battle now. So Kodo has brought the Dreadnought, the Dragapult, the Frostmoth, the Rotom Heat, the Honchkrow, and the Quaquaval. So he did not brought his rock card, which is Donphan. I mean, Dreadnought can run rocks, but I doubt it does. So we could have actually brought a Mirror Herb on our Charizard, but it is what it is. Oh, I also forgot to nickname my Dondozo. That's bad. Anyways, so I just decided to lead off with my Screamtail, since the only thing super effective against it that he has is the Dragapult, and I do have the Cassivary, so if you use with both, I'm just gonna T-Wave and then go from there. Besides that, I can just check for any potential Scarfers like the Rotom or the Quaquaval that he might lead with and U-turn out. He has a lot of momentum, like a lot of U-turners, so the helmet on the Dondozo might come in handy here. So he sends a Raven, which is the Honchkrow, while we sent out our Screamtails. So I do outspeed most all of his mons except for the boat. So I can just fire off a Dazzling Gleam here, do some damage, but he just U-turns out, so that does mean he is a Scarfed Honchkrow. So that should be fine, cause the mons he want to hit in my side are either Scarfed or will get the Photosynthesis speed boost, so I don't think we worry a lot about that. So we just fire off a D game, so something is gonna take some small cheap damage. So he sends a Molten, which is probably the Frostmoth. So it's thing not gonna take a lot due to its ability. So you might want to set up, so I click T-Wave just to paralyze it and stop it from setting up, and I can just switch to Dondozo after that if it does set up, so it shouldn't be a big deal. And I do have Charizard to do good damage against it. So yeah, I click T-Wave, get that thing paralyzed, and it just fires off a raw ice beam, and that does a lot, and that tells me this thing is definitely Specs. So I have no business staying in, so I just go to my Dondozo, which will take the hit pretty well. It's a resisted hit, and it still does a lot with resist. That tells me the thing is definitely Specs. So I do expect the Quaquaval to come in, so I click Zen headbutt to get some damage on that thing. Yeah, he has no business staying in now, so yeah, he sends out the witch doctor, which is the quack-over, so we do get a prediction right, and then but doesn't do a lot. I think that's a more defensive quack-over, so I just go for the Zen headbutt again because it has a roost and take the damage, but he decides to U-turn. And it doesn't take a rocky helmet chip, so that's definitely the protective pets. So it might just switch in the Haunch Crow, but that's fine. The Haunch Crow is not gonna do a lot of damage to us anyways. So he goes for the Rotom, and we get his Zen headbutt and do a small amounts of damage to it. We are not attack invested, so we are not gonna do a lot anyways. So now I expect a wisp or a vote switch, so I just go to my Scream Tail because it's very low at this point. I don't think it's gonna be very useful, so yeah, he just go for the Will Wisp. So yeah, and we get burned. So this gives us a free chance to get a wish up, but I don't know if I'll give a hit from this thing, especially since we are more defense invested instead of SPDF invested, but at least something next turn can take advantage of the wish. Yeah, he just goes for the vote switch. It doesn't knock us out, but the burn will knock us out. At this point, lefties would have come in handy because we would have rift and get help back with the wish, and if the Frostmoth came in, we could just protect Scout. It's move since we know it's choice left. So, but he sends in the Haunch Crow again. So I guess he just wants to U-turn out of whatever we get in. So at this point, we can go in the Dondozo and get it some more U-turn chip or get a rest of. Since we are pretty low, I don't think we can take more hits, but I just go for the liquidation instead, thinking it will just go for a move like a brave bird. Yeah, he just goes for the U-turn again, gets a crit and do some damage, and might just switch in the walkover again because it does give another Zen headbutt. Yeah, he just goes into the walkover again, this liquidation, and it does a chunk because we created. Never mind, and the wish is gonna heal us a bit. So now we can just go for a Zen headbutt again. He just goes for the U-turn and gets another crit. So that's 3 crits in a row. in between the both of us, and he sends the Honchko again, take the Zen headbutt. Yeah, he's gonna U-turn again, and I will just quick rest to get off the damage I took. Yeah, he just goes for U-turn again and gets some Rocky Helmet chip, so I think he's gonna go to the Rotom now. Now he goes back to the Frostmoth, and we get our life back with rest. So at this point he's either clicking Bug Buzz or Giga Drain, and I think Charizard takes both pretty well, so I just gonna switch in my Charizard here. Yeah, he goes for the Bug Buzz. We do quad resist it, but it still did a lot. So now I am free to just click Fire Blast. The Rotom probably will come in, but it's still gonna take some damage from the Fire Blast. Yeah, he goes into the Rotom, and it does not a lot, but it does a bit, and since this Rotom does not have recovery, so it's getting chipped down. So now he probably just click Volt Switch, so it's probably the best time to get in our Pochien in and get the Terra off, so we don't take quad effective damage from those U-turns he's spamming. So he just predicts the switch and clicks Wisp, so that's fine since it doesn't matter if you're burned anyway. So yeah, we just get our Terra off, and since he doesn't have a grass type, I'm just gonna quick Leech Seed. So we get the Terra poison off. We just go switch. Yeah, that doesn't do a lot. He probably just switch in one of his U-turners again. We get some chip on both. So yeah, he goes into the Witch Doctor, the Quacklever. It's gonna get low, but yeah, this thing is not a big threat to us anyway, so doesn't matter. He's probably just quick U-turn again. No idea what he'll switch into. Probably the Frostmoth. to get some aspects move off. So yeah, I just quickly seed again just to seed whatever comes in next. So he just hard switches instead of returning. He probably, I have no idea why, but yeah, he does switch into the frost moth as we expected, and we get the seeds off again. So his Giga Drain Bagmas won't do a lot of to us, so I do expect it to go for the ice beam. So I switch into the Dondozo here. Yeah, he just clicks ice beam. It does a lot, but we will get some help back with this seed. So we have 2 turns of rest to break out, so we just have to click Sick Talk here. So he sends out Duke Fiction, so that's the Dreadnought. We Sweep Talk and we get rest, so that's not good. So this thing can set up on us, but it still doesn't matter a lot since we are unaware. But I do think it's either Terra Grass or Electric, cause that's the only way it can beat us, cause other moves is not gonna do a lot to us. So getting some damage on this thing would have been great with one of the moves, but yeah, it kicks Chase Smash, so it probably might want to beat us down with like some Terra and then trying to sweep us, but we'll see. So unfortunately the defense drop doesn't matter since we are unaware. However, any damage on this thing would be great, but we will rest 2 times in a row, so that's very unfortunate. Now we can just go for the liquidation or Zen Headbutt. So I did think it might tear up grass, so I hesitated to go for liquidation first, but I will get a move next time off anyway. So yeah, he tears and he tears into grass, so that's not great, but I do think we'll be able to take a hit or 2 from it. But he just smashes again. So yeah, that's the downside of Anwar, that it does ignore the offense drop, but it also ignores the defense drop, so we don't get the extra damage. So that didn't do a lot. So now we have to click the Zen Headbutt. So here he clicks Gastro Acid, so he wants to suppress the ability Unaware, so he can break through this thing. However, that does also mean that we do get to get the defense boost now. So he's definitely clicking Terra Blast here, so I just switch into my Charizard since that would be a resisted hit, and see what else move it might have. So yeah, he goes for the Terra Blast here, and it does a lot even being quad resisted, so unfortunately we won't be able to know what other move he has, because he's gonna click Terra Burst again. and knock us out. So now I can break the Dondozo again because now we have gained our armor back. But I have no idea if you can take two and knock it out, because I don't think he clicks Gastracid again, because it will knock us out. It doesn't hit, but we knock it out then. And unfortunately Terabus doesn't have contact, so he's not gonna touch us. Yeah, so unfortunately we are not gonna take two of these, but we worry it a bit. And yeah, they knock us off the Dondozo. So now at this point I have no idea what its other move is, so I can't go to my Ochian because it might just be like our EQ or liquidation, which will not Ochian out. So I have to go to Gengar and hope for a Curse Body proc. Yeah, so his last move is Rock Burst, and we get the Curse Body proc that will stop the Dondozo ease of the Dreadnought from clicking Rock Burst again. So Ochian can now take a Terra Burst and hopefully knock this thing out. So yeah, we go to our Ochian, hopefully we can Giga Drain knocks this out after it's -2. Well, now it will be Great Tusk against the Ward, and I have no idea what the board set is, so I don't think Great Tusk will be able to win us this one. But at least we might be able to get 2 or 3 kills to get the differential. So yeah, Terabus doesn't do a lot to us, but we do pick up the KO with the Giga Drain. So that's at least the Dreadnought down. Now he's definitely gonna switch into the Frostmoth and click Ice Beam, since we don't have a ice resist anymore, and Ice Beam might probably just do it KO Ochian anyway, since I have no way to carry it back in return. Yeah, he just sends out the Frostmoth. So I mean, it doesn't matter what I do here anyway, cause like it will probably knock us out, and Great Tusk we have to carry it 1. So I just quickly sit and miss, and it gets Ice Beam. We don't get knocked out, but it does a lot. And yeah, I mean, it really doesn't matter what we do here. So yeah, I just decide to click Ruination to get it to grow a bit, and then we'll see what happens. And even if that each it connected, we wouldn't get enough health back to survive unless we he doesn't get full parrot. So yeah, Ochian goes down. Now it's Great Tusk versus the World. Unfortunately, and you do need to get a bulk up to knock out that boat, and I don't think I can do that in front of the Frostmoth, and I also don't think I can click CC or Headlong Rush. So yeah, we get the speed from the photosynthesis, so I can't click CC here, since if our defenses drop, the boat will be able to knock us out with Draco. So I have to click Stone Age here no matter what, and then hopefully we can deal with that boat, but unfortunately we just miss. and this thing is just gonna knock us out with that spin. Yeah, so that was very unfortunate. We probably wouldn't have won that game anyway, since that Pooh is like full health, and if it had with Wisp, we couldn't have knocked it out. But yeah, GG's to my opponent. We get another loss, but that should be fine. We just need to win another match. So yeah, that's for week 6. Bye.